channel and welcome to the last video of the year. So yeah, today we're going to be going over our 2025 goals as well as my December wrap up. We're probably going to do the December wrap up first and then go over the goals, so it would make more sense logically to me to go through it like that. So I have my reading log right here, so we're going to be going over everything I read in December, and I'm not going to lie to you, this was me trying to steamroll through the entire month, and then I failed halfway through. I was doing so good at the beginning, and then I kind of failed, which is okay, I guess. But that being said, I think I left off with Yellowface, which technically I finished it in December, so I'm going to include it then, because I don't know. I think I said I was currently reading it at the end of November, but I did finish it. But Yellowface was so good. I rated it 5 stars. It is the story about this white woman taking basically her friend's, I wouldn't say best friend, but close-ish friend, who they're both authors. She took her manuscript after her friend died, and her friend happened to be Chinese. But it was a great way to start the month, honestly. Like, I loved it. I enjoyed it. I loved the metaphorical sense of rehashing everything about racism, plagiarism, taking other people's writing as your own. Like, it touched a lot of important topics that we do need to talk about. And I really liked the way R.F. Kuang did it. It was intellectually one of the better books I've read, because of the fact I don't typically sit down and read books like that. I really don't. But I had gotten the book from the library, and I really just wanted to read it because I liked the idea of how could this book perfectly portray this, and how can we do this in a way that's not stupid, essentially. And R.F. Kuang definitely delivered on Yellowface. Yeah, it was just really good. I do feel like sometimes things were over-explained a little bit, but other than that, it was a 5-star. I really enjoyed it, and yeah. Next up is K and B Ritchie's The Bad Reputation Duet. If you guys don't know, that is the spin-off, well, one of the spin-offs to the Addicted/Calloway Sister series, and I give that one 4 stars, okay? So look, Bad Reputation Duet is just, if you've read the Addicted/Calloway Sister series, you have 2 characters named Willow and Garrison. It is just going through their romance in more detail. We already knew the bigger monumental things that have happened in their life from those from the main series, but I really liked just going through it and feeling in depth of their relationship, and I really just enjoyed being there. I felt closer to the characters after I read it. Next up, Emily Henry's Book Lovers, rated it a 4.5. And honestly, probably one of my favorite, no, well, yeah, one of my favorite Emily Henry books. I feel like she did a really good job of portraying the relationship. Some people say they can't see the chemistry, and I get how they could see it like that, but I personally love the characters, and I felt like I related to the female character just a little bit too much. So yeah, that being said, I did enjoy it, and it showed me I need to work on my issues. Anyway, and this is where it goes downhill from here with the smaller books. I'm sorry, but literally day after day after day after day, I was just trying to. I was at the 140 mark of my book goal, and I wanted to try to read 200. So my whole goal in this last month was to try to read 50 books, which did not happen. Spoiler alert, did not happen. I did not finish my goal. I changed it last minute to 140, and I got to 146. So that being said, I'm just gonna go over. Most of these are by the same author. Okay, so in a row, I have at least 7 Jessica Cain books. So we're gonna go In His Custody, which is More Than a Crush. Book 6, Jessica Cain's As If I Wouldn't Fall. Jessica Cain's The Mobster's Masseuse. Jessica Cain's Making Their Vows in the Vows series, Book 1. Jessica Cain's Renewing Their Vows in the Vows series, Book 2. A One-Woman Job, and then a One-Man Job. All of those by Jessica Cain. All of them pretty much have gotten 4 stars. The first 4 got no, the first 3 got 4 stars, and then the last 4 got ranging about 2.75 to 3.5 stars. Yeah. So yeah, we just did a Jessica Cain binge, and then we read Ella Good's Love Contract. I gave that one 4 stars. That was like one of the better ones I've read by Ella Good. I don't typically like her writing when it comes to the short, smutty novellas, but I was desperate. But that one I did kind of enjoy. Next up, going back to Jessica Cain, The Perfect Gift. I gave it 1.75 stars. Next up was Ella Good's Marked with Love. Didn't like that one. I gave it 1.75 stars. Lena Little's The Stranger, the Steamy Short series, which I started, I think, a month ago. And then she added more books to that series. So this was me starting to finish the series off with what she added. The Stranger, The Monster, and then The Priest. Books 12, 13 through 12, 13, and 14. All of them got 2 stars. And then I just started to wreck my soul. I just wanted to be emotional and start crying and all of that shit. So that being said, I started A Love Letter to Whiskey, finished it within 2 days, and I gave it 5 stars. And honestly, I loved it. It was fantastic. I enjoyed it so much. And you guys should go read it if you want to be crushed. And are the main characters likable? No. But do we love reading about toxic relationships because of the drama? Yes, I do. Anyways, so that one I read in 4 sittings, but I read it in the course of 2 days, I believe. And then it was just so good. And I want to read Blockshot next, but I was like, give me time. Give me time. And then I read, which is the last book of the month, and then I'm going on to my currently reading Bisco Hattori Volume 15 of Oregon High School Host Club. I gave it 3.75 stars, so that's the last book I read. I'm currently reading Oregon High School Host Club Volume 16, so I'm going to try to finish that today. And I don't know if I'm going to try to read the rest of the manga before the end of the year, because I feel like I started that pretty much a year ago. Yeah, June of 2023. So a little over a year ago, I started the Warren High School Host Club. So basically, I'm probably going to finish up the manga in January, just so that way it's out the way, it's done, series over. But I'm actually really enjoying the manga so far. A lot has happened in the last volume, and I'm just like, yes, let's go. Like, Tamaki realized his feelings, and like, oh my god, it gave me so much serotonin, and oh my god. Anyway, so I'm gonna start 16 today. And then basically we're just gonna go from there. And then I think that's the last book I'm gonna read in December. Maybe. I might start Blockshot today. Today's the last day of December. So basically I just gotta run with the punches, right? And now we move on to my 2025 goals, which I have so kindly written down right here in my work notebook. So we're lowering the goal this year. It will not be 200. It will not be 150. It will be 100 flat. And I have good reason for that. Because of the fact that this year I felt like I was rushing, trying to read so much. I wasn't enjoying what I was reading. I wasn't taking the time to consume what I was reading. And I will not allow myself to do that any further. So basically, all I'm going to read this year, chapter books. None of this novella smut that I have been reading. None of it. None, 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 none. If I try to read it, stop me and then throw my head against the wall. Please, begging. I do not want to read any more of those. I want to enjoy what I'm reading. I want to take the time to get to know characters, get to know storylines, get to know. I just want to take my time with it, okay? Because I feel like this year has been so shitty in terms of me enjoying what I'm actually been reading. With select few books, I've only rated few books 4 or 5 stars this year. My most rating, like my most rated rating, is around 2.75, and that is not what I want. Not what I want. So basically, the purpose of this year coming up is to fall in love with reading again, because let's face it, I have been this close to not wanting to read a book ever again. So I am taking my time. I'm only going to read what I want, not what I feel obligated to. I'm still planning to do a Throne of Glass Sarah J. Maas video, probably breaking up into 3 parts because that is such a long series, and plus the tandem read. But I will be doing that this year. I will be. That is one of the goals in itself. Just do that video because I really just want to read it, and I want to read Crescent City, which I know I'm going to have to read Crescent City before the next ACOTAR book because it does kind of intertwine, is what I've heard. So I will have to, get into that. I do want to start taking in what I'm reading. I will say that Book Talk, even though I'm not as actively on Book Talk as I am on BookTube, I do feel like I've become harder on myself in terms of numbers and reading so much that I haven't, taken the time to do with what I'm reading. And to be honest, I've done that for since 2021, so about almost 4 years now. And I've just went ham on what I've been reading. Every year since 2021, I've read about 150 to 175 books each year. And that's just numbers. And that's insane to me that I've taken the time to read that much. Because I look at what I've read since then, and I have 555 pages in my read list. And that's all since 2021. And it's kind of insane. I mean, I like to say that I do have a backlog of reading that much, but at the same time, I haven't enjoyed myself while doing it, so what was the point? I feel like at the beginning, since 2021, I was having a great time reading as much as I was because I was just getting into reading again, right? And I was having a great time reading that much, reading every day, reading multiple books a day, literal chapter books. I don't know how I did that. But I was a child. I didn't have much obligation other than school. I didn't have to work, you know. But now it's just kind of like, what the fuck? I was on beast mode for those years. But yeah, essentially, anyways, guys, just to wrap it up, my main goals of the year coming up is to actually focus on what I'm reading, take my time, don't rush, and of course, the Throne of Glass series video. Only reading what I want to read, not what I feel obligated to. I'm able to do rereads. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I'm able to do rereads solely because I feel like if I go back and read some of the ones that I really, really enjoyed, it will help get me back on the train tracks of the right way that I want to do things. So that being said, I think that's a good idea, and I'm going to start doing that. Also, I really, 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 really want to reread Fourth Wing, Iron Flame before Onyx Storm comes out, and I want to reread off-campus series. So that way, in preparation for the show, I don't know when the show comes out, but I want to be prepared. So when we get the announced date of when that show will come out, I'm going to reread those maybe like a month beforehand. That I feel like that will give me enough time to finish the books. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any book recs for the new year, you can send them my way. I'll look into them. Of course, I'm probably not going to read what I'm not interested in, but I will take a look and see if it's something I'm interested in. And oh yeah, one more goal. I do want to DNF more if I don't like something, because I started it and I'm still trying to get a grasp of it because I don't do it as often. I only DNF'd 5 books this year, and I feel like it should have been more. That being said, I do want to do that too. Anyways, continuing on with my outro. I really love you guys. And if you guys have stayed watching, I know I only get like a few views a video, but if you guys watch, stay tuned. Really appreciate it. Like, I'm just having fun, and I really don't care about the views or anything like that, but it's nice to know that other people enjoy what I'm talking about. Yeah, that being said, last video of the year. Hopefully I have this video out by tonight. I already started the editing process, so I will see you guys next year. Bye.